Hello everybody, JT Bear here, finally getting a chance to work towards Operation Winter 2013 in the greenhouse. I figure for the first bit of that today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by rerouting the plumbing so I can take this purple bin out. The purple bin you may know as my Raft bed swirl filter. Let's take a look. I still got lots of stuff that's happily growing in here, and obviously I'm going to have to rearrange that, but I figure I'll pop some of it over into the space over there, and I've got some various bits and pieces of space here. These black lids are just trying to attract a little bit of heat right now. A little bit of redneck resources there, I guess. Call it what you will. Just a quick look at my stevia. Can't believe how well it's doing. Got down to like 5 degrees in here last night. Anyway, back on track. So the first part of decommissioning this thing is to take it out of the plumbing, which is nice because it'll free up a few extra fixtures for me. Then I'm going to have to drain the water out of here. I've already shut off the water flow to the bed. Let's see how it did for collecting solids and filth. Okay, that's already pretty nasty. Guess I'll dump that into the compost for the winter time. Alright, got the water shut off to the pump here, so now I can get to disconnecting this from the system. My fish are never terribly happy when I turn the pump off, but can't say that I blame them. And then for right now, I'll just throw a 90 degree in there. I still got to reroute the rest of my plumbing, but I don't know for sure how much sunshine I've got today, so that'll take care of that for now. Well, I think some of the most obvious plants that I see in here that I want to try and keep over the winter would be the kale, and that clone from the Malabar spinach that started off as just a little tip that dropped in one of the holes, and lo and behold, look at it now. So I'm curious to see if it'll survive the winter. And winter survivability is one of the reasons I started growing kale in the first place. So let's move this over into the clay pebble bed, and we'll take another look. Just take a brief look at the roots on that Malabar spinach. I was a little surprised. It's about 5-6 weeks of just floating in there. That's pretty decent. Alright, back to planting. Alright, so now that I've got this disconnected, it gives me an opportunity to show you just how I was creating the swirl inside this big purple Rubbermaid tote. I just put a 3-corner piece on the bottom, shot the water down a good bit, and then hoped for the best. And it seemed to do a pretty good job of collecting it all before it hit the overflow. Let's take a look at how the kale and the Malabar are doing. That'll certainly do for now. I'm sure they're going to get rearranged, but much to do. Since this is the last of the catmint we have on the property, I should definitely find a permanent place for this. And I guess those mighty lemon bombs will be next. Alright, we'll check back when that's done. Well, I've kind of got a basic idea of where I'm going to put all the rest of those plants now. And what do you know, my grow beds are probably overpopulated yet again. But that's really nothing new for around here. Not sure how well it's going to show up here on the camera, but just plain looking at it, it's easy to see just how much filth was pulled out by this swirl filter. So maybe it's not how you're supposed to do it, but hey, I got a floating bed out of the deal too. The only reason I'm taking this thing out is because I'm pretty sure it's going to lose way too much heat, and I don't really feel like all the over-insulating that would have to go into fixing that. Well, I've almost got that bin emptied, and here you can get a definite picture of how much crap is in that water. I mean, that kind of looks like motor oil, it's so black, but that is the fish water from the bottom of my swirl filter. Nasty. Well, that would have been a lot of fast forwarding, but there sits my swirl filter for now. Let that dry out and throw it into the shed for winter storage. Put it back into the system in the spring. Just look at that discoloration in the bottom though. Kind of surprised by that. The algae on the sides, not so surprised by. The black stain on the bottom, maybe a little. I think that's probably it for now. I've still got a lot more to do to winterize this place. But I've got those plants in. Discovered I have a low corner in the back here. But I'm going to have to jack up the entire shelf to fix that. That'll be interesting. Got the paper down on the floor. Freshly papered greenhouse floor. Should keep it a little bit warmer. Got rid of the raft bed. Imagine next sunny day I get, probably put that insulation on the plumbing. And now that I've got room to work, I might be able to get the lid on that fish tank.